The flash of cameras exploded like lightning in the corridors of Greenwood International Airport. Ethan Vale moved through the chaos with practiced ease, his designer suit immaculate, his expression unreadable. Assistants flanked him on both sides, their voices overlapping as they rattled off his schedule. Security personnel cleared the path ahead. This was routine. This was power. This was the life of a man who had conquered everything. Then he saw her. Ethan stopped so abruptly that his lead assistant nearly collided with his back. His eyes locked onto a woman in a blue cleaning uniform, her hair pulled back in a simple ponytail, pushing a cart filled with supplies. She was wiping down a railing, completely absorbed in her work, oblivious to the commotion nearby. "Mr. Vale?" His assistant touched his elbow. "Sir, we're on a tight schedule." But Ethan couldn't move. His heart hammered against his ribs in a way it hadn't in years. Not since closing billion-dollar deals. Not since standing before shareholders. Not since anything that mattered in his carefully constructed world. "Amanda?" The name escaped his lips barely above a whisper. The woman looked up, her hands stilled on the railing, her eyes widened in recognition, then something else. Shock, fear, embarrassment. "Ethan Vale?" She breathed his name like a prayer and a curse combined. The airport noise faded. The assistants, the cameras, the entire universe seemed to collapse into the space between them. Ethan felt himself moving forward, his feet carrying him away from his team, away from his schedule, away from everything that was supposed to matter. "Amanda Hart?" He stopped a few feet from her, a smile breaking across his face. "I can't believe it's you." She glanced down at her uniform, her cheeks flushing. This is unexpected." Her hands gripped the handle of her cleaning cart like it was the only thing keeping her anchored. "Mr. Vale, we really need to move." His assistant appeared at his shoulder again, more insistent this time. Ethan didn't even look at him. "Clear my schedule for the next 2 hours." "Sir, the press conference? Cancel it. Reschedule everything." His tone left no room for argument. The assistant's mouth opened and closed like a fish. "But, sir, the shareholders? 2 hours. Go." Ethan's voice was steel-wrapped in silk. Amanda watched this exchange with growing alarm. "Ethan, you don't have to." "I want to." He turned back to her, his expression softening. "Can we talk? Just for a little while?" She looked around nervously. Other airport staff were staring now. A security guard lingered nearby, uncertain whether this interaction was friendly or problematic. Amanda's supervisor stood near the information desk, arms crossed, watching with obvious disapproval. "I'm working," she said quietly. "Please." The word came out more vulnerable than Ethan had intended. "I haven't seen you since graduation. That's 15 years, Amanda." Something in her face crumbled. The embarrassment gave way to something deeper. Nostalgia, curiosity. Maybe even a flicker of the warmth she'd once felt for the boy he used to be. "Okay," she whispered. "My break is in 10 minutes. There's a coffee shop near Terminal C." Ethan's smile could have powered the entire airport. "I'll wait right here." As Amanda returned to her work, her hands trembling slightly as she wiped down surfaces, Ethan's assistant returned with barely contained panic. "Sir, the board is going to be furious. The investors are already gathered, the media—" "Tell them I had a personal emergency." Ethan pulled out his phone and fired off several texts, his fingers moving with the same decisive speed he used in boardrooms. "Reschedule for tomorrow. Tell them I'll make it worth their time." "But, sir—" "That's an order, Marcus." Ethan looked up, his eyes harder now. "And if anyone has a problem with it, they can schedule a meeting with me. Next week." Marcus swallowed and nodded, retreating with his tablet clutched to his chest like a shield. Ethan waited exactly where he'd promised. He watched Amanda work, noting the efficiency in her movements, the quiet dignity in the way she carried herself despite the menial nature of her tasks. Other travelers rushed past her without a second glance. To them she was invisible, part of the infrastructure, but to Ethan, she was the only real thing in this entire gleaming artificial space. When her supervisor finally nodded, Amanda removed her gloves, washed her hands at a nearby restroom, and returned to find Ethan standing with his hands in his pockets, looking strangely boyish despite the expensive suit. "Ready?" he asked. She nodded, and they walked together through the terminal. People stared. Some recognized Ethan Vale and pulled out their phones. Amanda felt their eyes on her uniform, on the stark contrast between her and the man beside her. She wanted to disappear. "So this is where you ended up." Ethan said softly as they entered the small airport cafe. It was nearly empty, just a few travelers hunched over laptops. He ordered 2 coffees without asking what she wanted, somehow remembering after all these years that she took hers with cream and 2 sugars. They sat at a corner table. Amanda kept her eyes on her cup. "I didn't expect to see you here," she said finally. "Or anywhere, really. I've followed your career. You're everywhere. Forbes, Time magazine, that speech you gave at the World Economic Forum. And you?" Ethan leaned forward. "What happened, Amanda? You were going to art school. You had that scholarship to Parsons." Her face tightened. "Life happened. Tell me." She looked up at him then, searching his face for judgment. Finding only genuine interest, she felt something unlock inside her chest. "My mom got sick my senior year of college. Cancer. I came home to help thinking it would just be for a semester." Her voice was steady, but her hands shook slightly around the cup. "She fought for 3 years. We burned through her insurance, our savings, everything. I took any job I could find to pay for treatments. By the time she passed, I was 25 and drowning in debt. The design dreams felt like they belonged to someone else." Ethan's hand moved across the table, covering hers. The touch was electric. "I'm so sorry. It's been 8 years. Amanda didn't pull her hand away. "I've made peace with it. This job has health insurance, benefits, it's stable. But it's not what you wanted. Most people don't get what they want, Ethan." There was no bitterness in her voice, just resignation. "That's just reality for people like me." "People like you?" He tilted his head. "You mean talented people? Creative people? People who lit up every room they walked into in high school?" She laughed, but it was a sad sound. "People without trust funds and family connections. I didn't have those either." Ethan's grip on her hand tightened. "I built my company from nothing. You remember, I was the scholarship kid too. But you made it out." Amanda's eyes glistened. "You became everything you were supposed to become, and I'm here, cleaning toilets and picking up trash." "There's no shame in honest work," says the billionaire. The words hung between them. Ethan sat back, releasing her hand, and Amanda immediately regretted the sharpness in her tone. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "That wasn't fair." "No, you're right." He ran a hand through his hair, messing up the perfect styling. "I have no idea what your life has been like. But, Amanda, I want to know. I want to understand. I want to—" He stopped himself. "I want to know you again." She stared at him. "Why?" "Because for 15 years, I've wondered what happened to you. Because you were the kindest person I knew in a place that wasn't particularly kind. Because when I saw you today, it felt like the first real moment I've had in years." He leaned forward again, his voice dropping. "Because I had the biggest crush on you in high school, and apparently that hasn't faded as much as I thought." Amanda's breath caught. "Ethan? Too honest? Way too honest." But she was smiling now, really smiling. "You never said anything back then. You were dating that football player, Jake something. Jake Morrison, and we broke up junior year." "I know, but by then I was so deep in my own insecurities I couldn't imagine you'd ever want someone like me." He laughed at himself. "Funny how things change." "Not that much." Amanda's smile faded. "You're still the brilliant one. I'm still just trying to survive." "Don't say that. It's true." "It's not." Ethan's voice carried an edge of frustration. "You're intelligent, creative, resilient. You survived something that would have broken most people. You're still standing. That's not just surviving. That's winning, Amanda." She felt tears prickling at her eyes. "You always knew what to say." "Then believe me now." He pulled out his phone. "Give me your number." "Ethan, just your number. I want to see you again." "Outside this airport, away from your work and mine, just us." When she hesitated, he added, "Please, if it's terrible, you never have to see me again, but give me one chance." Against every instinct screaming at her that this was a mistake, that they lived in different worlds, that this would only end in heartbreak, Amanda recited her number. Ethan typed it in immediately and sent her a text so she'd have his. "Tomorrow night," he said, "dinner somewhere quiet. I have an evening shift. Then breakfast or lunch or 3 in the morning. I don't care. Whenever you're free." Amanda found herself laughing. "You're serious." "Completely." She checked the time on her phone and sighed. My break's almost over. They walked back through the terminal together. This time, Amanda noticed more people watching, more phones raised. She felt exposed, vulnerable, but Ethan seemed completely unbothered. At her cleaning cart, he took both her hands in his. "Thank you," he said, "for giving me this time. Thank you for remembering me." "I never forgot you, Amanda Hart." He squeezed her hands once more before releasing them. "I'll text you tonight." She watched him walk away, his security team materializing from wherever they'd been lurking. The crowd swallowed him up. Within moments, he was gone, and Amanda was left standing with her cleaning cart, wondering if the last hour had been real or some strange daydream. Her supervisor appeared at her elbow. Was that really Ethan Vale? "Yeah," Amanda said softly. "What did he want?" "To catch up." She gripped the cart handle and pushed forward. "We went to high school together." The supervisor's eyebrows climbed toward her hairline. "Well, that's not something you see every day." That night in her small studio apartment with its secondhand furniture and persistent draft, Amanda stared at her phone. Ethan's text had come through exactly when he promised. "Still thinking about our conversation. You free Sunday morning? There's a diner in Westfield that makes incredible pancakes. Low-key, private, just us." She typed and deleted 5 different responses before finally settling on 8 o'clock. His reply was immediate. "Perfect. I'll pick you up. Send me your address." Amanda looked around her cramped apartment. The water stain on the ceiling, the radiator that clanked, the single window overlooking a parking lot. She imagined Ethan Vale pulling up in whatever luxury car he drove, seeing this place, understanding the reality of her life. "I'll meet you there," she texted back. She could almost feel his hesitation through the phone. Finally, he sent the address and added, "Looking forward to it." Sunday morning arrived with rain. Amanda stood in front of her closet, which contained exactly 3 outfits that weren't work uniforms or pajamas. She chose dark jeans and a green sweater her mother had given her before she died. Simple, honest, the best she had. The diner was exactly as Ethan described. Small, warm, tucked into a corner of Westfield that tourists never found. When Amanda walked in, Ethan was already there, sitting in a corner booth. He'd traded his suit for jeans and a casual button-down. He looked younger, more like the boy she remembered. "You found it." He stood as she approached, and for a moment they both hesitated before he pulled her into a brief hug. She caught the scent of his cologne, something expensive but subtle. They slid into opposite sides of the booth. A tired-looking waitress brought coffee without being asked. "I come here when I need to think," Ethan explained. "No one bothers me. The owner doesn't care who I am." "Must be nice," Amanda said, "having places to hide." "Sometimes I think my whole life is hiding." He wrapped his hands around his coffee mug. "Hiding behind suits and presentations and carefully managed public appearances." "Poor billionaire," she teased gently. "I know how it sounds." He smiled. "But wealth doesn't make you immune to loneliness." The waitress returned. They ordered pancakes for her, an omelet for him. When she left, Amanda leaned back and studied Ethan. "So, what's your life actually like?" she asked. "Beyond the Forbes articles?" He considered the question carefully. "Exhausting, rewarding, isolated. I wake up at 5 every morning. Gym for an hour. Breakfast while reading reports. Meetings from 8 until 6 or 7. Dinner with investors or clients or board members. Home by 10. Work until midnight. Sleep, repeat." "That sounds awful." "Some days it is." He looked out the window at the rain. "I built something incredible. My company employs over 10,000 people. We've revolutionized data security. We've made real change in the world. But somewhere along the way, I forgot what it feels like to be a person instead of a brand." "Is that why you're here with me?" Amanda asked quietly. "Because I'm not part of that world?" "I'm here because when I saw you, I remembered who I used to be, who I wanted to be." He met her eyes. "You're real, Amanda. You're not performing. You're not calculating your next move. You're just you." Their food arrived. They ate slowly, talking about everything and nothing. High school memories, movies they'd seen, books they'd read. Amanda found herself relaxing, laughing, forgetting about the vast gulf between their circumstances. "Remember Mr. Patterson's chemistry class?" Ethan asked, grinning. "When you accidentally created that smell that cleared out the entire 3rd floor?" Amanda covered her face with her hands, laughing. Oh, God, I thought I'd be expelled. You helped me clean it up. You apologized to him for weeks. He never let me live it down. She smiled at the memory. You were always helping me, even back then. You helped me too, more than you knew. Ethan's expression grew serious. That year, my dad left. When I was a junior, everyone treated me like I was broken, but you just talked to me like I was still me. Amanda remembered. Ethan had disappeared into himself that year, but she sought him out in the library, inviting him to study groups, making sure he wasn't alone. I wish I'd known how much that meant to you, she said softly. I wish I told you. They lingered in the diner for 3 hours. The rain stopped. Other customers came and went. The waitress refilled their coffee 4 times. Finally, reluctantly, Amanda checked her phone. I have to get ready for my shift, she said. When can I see you again? Ethan. She hesitated. This was wonderful, really. But we both know this doesn't make sense. Why not? Because you're you and I'm me. Because you live in penthouses and I live in a studio with bad heating. Because your world and my world don't overlap. So we'll create a new world. He reached across the table. Just for us. You make it sound simple. Maybe it is. His hand closed around hers. Maybe everyone else makes it complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Amanda wanted to believe him. She wanted it so desperately it frightened her. Over the next 3 weeks, they found ways to see each other. Early morning walks before her shift. Late-night phone calls that stretched past midnight. One stolen afternoon in a small art gallery where Amanda stood in front of paintings and talked about color theory and composition with such passion that Ethan could barely breathe. You should be doing this, he told her, creating, not cleaning. Maybe in another life, she said lightly, but he heard the longing underneath. They were careful. Always meeting in out-of-the-way places, never posting anything on social media. Ethan's security team learned to give them space. Amanda's coworkers noticed she seemed happier but didn't ask questions. Then, on a Tuesday evening, everything shattered. They were leaving a small Thai restaurant in a neighborhood neither of them frequented. Ethan had his arm around Amanda's shoulders. She was laughing at something he'd said. They didn't notice the photographer lurking across the street. The photo appeared online within hours. By morning, it was everywhere. Billionaire, CEO's secret romance with airport cleaner. Ethan Vale, slumming it? Inside his shocking relationship, from rags to riches, the woman who captured Ethan Vale's heart or his wallet? Amanda's phone exploded with notifications. Friend requests from strangers. Messages ranging from supportive to viciously cruel. Her social media accounts, which she barely used, were suddenly flooded. Gold digger. She's just using him. What does he even see in her? Probably great in bed. That's all she's got. At work, it was worse. Her supervisor called her into the office. This is creating a disruption, the woman said, her face tight. Other employees are talking. We've had reporters trying to get into the airport asking about you. I'm sorry, Amanda whispered. I never meant... I don't care what you meant. Keep your personal life personal. If this affects your work performance, we'll have to reconsider your position. Amanda returned to her shift feeling sick. Her coworker Lisa, who'd always been friendly, cornered her near the supply closet. So you're dating Ethan Vale? Lisa's tone was sharp. Must be nice, using your looks to get ahead. It's not like that. Sure it's not. Lisa laughed bitterly. Some of us actually work for our money. We don't just spread our legs for billionaires. The words hit like a slap. Amanda felt tears burning behind her eyes, but refused to let them fall. Not here. Not in front of these people. Her phone buzzed. Ethan. Are you okay? I just saw the articles. I'm so sorry. Can I call you? She couldn't answer. Couldn't find words. She finished her shift in a daze, avoiding everyone's eyes. At home, she finally broke down. The tears came in harsh, ugly sobs. She'd been stupid to think this could work. Stupid to believe that someone like Ethan Vale could be with someone like her without the world ripping them apart. Her phone rang. Ethan. She let it go to voicemail. He called again and again. Finally, a text. Please talk to me. She typed back. This is too much. I can't do this. I'm coming over. No, don't. We need to end this before it gets worse. Amanda, please don't make decisions when you're hurt. Let me see you. Let me help. You can't help. Don't you understand? This is who we are, who the world sees when they look at us. I'm the gold digger, the poor girl trying to trap the rich man, and you're the fool who fell for it. I don't care what they say. Well, I do. I care that everyone I work with thinks I'm a whore. I care that I can't walk through the airport without people staring and whispering. I care that my face is on tabloid websites with headlines calling me a social climber. She turned off her phone, crawled into bed fully clothed, pulled the covers over her head and wished she could disappear. At his downtown penthouse, Ethan stared at his phone. Marcus hovered nervously. Sir, the PR team wants to release a statement. They've drafted several options. This one denies the relationship. This one calls it a private matter. This one... No. Ethan's voice was ice. Sir, the board is concerned. Shareholders are questioning your judgment. The stock has dipped 2%. I don't care. Mr. Vale, I said I don't care. Ethan stood abruptly. Schedule a press conference. Tomorrow, noon. Marcus's face went pale. Sir, that's not advisable. The PR team says we should let this blow over quietly. I'm not letting anything blow over. I'm not hiding, and I'm sure as hell not denying Amanda. He grabbed his jacket. Schedule it. Main conference room. Every media outlet that wants to attend. But do it, Marcus, or I'll do it myself. The next morning, Amanda woke to dozens of missed calls and texts. From Ethan, from people she hadn't spoken to in years, from reporters who'd somehow gotten her number. She ignored them all. At work, the stares were worse. People pointed, whispered. One passenger asked for a selfie, then loudly wondered if Amanda was the cleaning lady dating the billionaire. During her lunch break, she hid in a rarely used bathroom and finally turned on her phone. A news alert popped up immediately. Breaking. Ethan Vale to address romance rumors in press conference noon today. Her heart stopped. She found a live stream link, clicked it with trembling hands. The conference room was packed. Cameras everywhere, reporters shouting questions. Ethan stood at a podium looking calm and controlled in an immaculate suit, but Amanda could see the tension in his shoulders. She knew him well enough now to recognize when he was barely holding back emotion. Thank you for coming. Ethan began. I'm going to make a statement, and I won't be taking questions afterward. The room quieted. Over the past 24 hours, there's been intense speculation about my personal life, specifically about my relationship with Amanda Hart. He paused, his jaw tightening. I want to be absolutely clear. Amanda and I are together. We're dating, and I couldn't be more grateful that she's in my life. Cameras flashed, reporters murmured. I've seen the things being written about her, the accusations, the cruelty, and I'm here to say that every single person spreading those lies should be ashamed. His voice grew harder. Amanda Hart is one of the most remarkable people I've ever met. She's intelligent, talented, compassionate, and resilient. She survived things that would have destroyed most people. She works honest, difficult work and maintains her dignity and kindness. If anyone thinks she's not worthy of respect, that says everything about them and nothing about her. Amanda pressed her hand to her mouth, tears streaming down her face. I've built companies worth billions of dollars, Ethan continued. I've stood before world leaders and investors and made presentations that moved markets. But Amanda reminds me of something more important. She reminds me what it means to be human, to care about people more than profits, to value character over credentials. He leaned forward, his hands gripping the podium. So, to the reporters writing hit pieces, to the social media trolls leaving cruel comments, to anyone who thinks they have the right to judge her, you don't know her, you don't know her story, you don't know what she's overcome, and your opinions mean nothing to me. The room erupted in questions. Ethan raised a hand. I said I wouldn't take questions. I'll add only this. Amanda, if you're watching, I meant every word. I'm sorry for the pain this has caused you, but I'm not sorry for caring about you, and I'm not going to stop. He walked away from the podium, ignoring the shouting reporters, and disappeared through a side door. Amanda sat on the bathroom floor, her phone clutched in both hands, sobbing. Not from sadness this time, from something else. Relief, gratitude, hope. He'd stood in front of the world and defended her, not with empty platitudes or corporate speak, but with genuine emotion and fierce protectiveness. He'd risked his reputation, his business relationships, everything, because he believed in her. She wiped her eyes, stood up, splashed water on her face, And for the first time in days, she felt strong. Her phone buzzed. Ethan. I meant it, all of it. She typed back, I know, thank you. Can I see you tonight, tomorrow, whenever you're ready? Tonight, come to my place. I'm done hiding. When Ethan arrived at her apartment building that evening, Amanda was waiting outside. She changed out of her work uniform into jeans and the green sweater. Her eyes were still red from crying, but she held her head high. He got out of his car, a modest sedan he used when he wanted privacy, and crossed to her in 3 long strides. Without a word, he pulled her into his arms. I'm sorry, he murmured into her hair. I'm so sorry you had to go through that alone. You defended me. Her voice was muffled against his chest. In front of everyone. Of course I did. She pulled back to look at him. Your board must be furious. The shareholders don't care about any of that. He cupped her face in his hands. I care about you. That's all that matters. Ethan? She covered his hands with hers. I was so scared. I thought I couldn't handle this. Being in your world, dealing with all the attention and judgment. You don't have to be in my world. We'll build our own. Is that really possible? I think so. He kissed her forehead. If we're both willing to fight for it. She took a deep breath. I want to fight. I'm tired of running. Tired of letting fear make my decisions. Then we fight together. They went inside. Amanda's apartment looked even smaller with Ethan in it, but he didn't seem to notice or care. He looked at her artwork, sketches and paintings she'd hidden away for years, hung on the walls with genuine interest. These are incredible, he said, studying a watercolor of the city at sunset. You made this? Years ago, before everything fell apart. It shouldn't be hidden away. He turned to her. None of your talent should be hidden. I gave up on that dream. What if you didn't have to? He moved closer. What if you could go back to school? Study design like you always wanted? Ethan, I can't afford. I'm not offering to pay. He held up a hand. I know that would make you uncomfortable, but there are scholarships, programs. I can help you find them, help you apply. You do the work, earn it yourself, but let me help you navigate the options. She wanted to refuse, wanted to insist she was fine with her life as it was, but standing there looking at her old paintings, feeling Ethan's belief in her radiating like heat, she couldn't lie. I miss it, she whispered. I miss creating. I miss feeling like I have something to offer the world, beyond clean floors. Then let's get it back. He took her hands. Not because I'm rescuing you, because you deserve the chance to be who you were meant to be. Over the following weeks, something shifted. The tabloids moved on to other stories. The social media cruelty faded to background noise. Amanda enrolled in night classes at a community college, taking the first steps toward reviving her design education. She kept her airport job, but now it felt temporary. A stepping stone, not a life sentence. Ethan adjusted his schedule to see her between her work and classes. They had breakfast together twice a week. Study sessions on weekends where he worked on his laptop while she sketched. Simple moments that felt more valuable than any luxury. The world still watched. Some people remained skeptical, but others began to see what Ethan saw. Articles appeared praising Amanda's resilience. Think pieces about class and relationships. Slowly, painfully, the narrative shifted from gold digger seduces billionaire to unlikely romance challenges social boundaries. 6 months after that first encounter in the airport, Amanda submitted her portfolio to 3 design programs. She got accepted to all 3. I can't believe it, she said, staring at the acceptance letter from Parsons, the same school she'd been forced to abandon years ago. They want me. Ethan wrapped his arms around her from behind. Of course they do. You're brilliant. I'm terrified. That means it matters. He kissed her temple. You've got this. She leaned back against him, feeling his solid presence, his unwavering support. Not because he was rich or powerful, but because he believed in her. Because he saw her not as a project or a charity case, but as an equal. As someone with value and potential. We really did it, she said softly. We built something real. We're still building it, he replied. Every day. That night they walked through the city together. Hand in hand, unhurried, unbothered by the occasional double-take from passers-by. They stopped at their diner, the one where they'd had their first real date, ordered pancakes and coffee, and talked about Amanda's program schedule, Ethan's latest business acquisition, the movie they wanted to see next weekend. Ordinary things. Beautiful things. As they left, Ethan pulled Amanda close, kissing her under the streetlight. Someone snapped a photo. They'd learned to expect that. But neither of them cared. Let the world watch. Let them judge or gossip or speculate. They knew the truth. They'd fought for this. Fought through judgment and cruelty and their own fears. They'd proven that love didn't follow the rules society tried to impose. That worth wasn't measured in bank accounts or job titles. That two people from different worlds could create something genuine if they were brave enough to try. "I love you," Ethan said against her lips. "Just so we're clear." Amanda smiled. "I love you too, even though you're ridiculously stubborn," says the woman who tried to break up with me via text. "I was scared." "I know." He touched his forehead to hers. "But we're not scared anymore, are we?" She thought about the journey ahead. Parsons would be challenging. The public attention wouldn't disappear entirely. There would still be people who questioned their relationship, who looked at her uniform or her background and made assumptions. But she'd faced worse. She'd survived loss and grief and years of grinding poverty. She'd cleaned toilets while strangers judged her worth. She'd endured social media cruelty and workplace harassment. And she was still standing, still creating, still fighting for the life she deserved. "No," she said firmly, "we're not scared." Because that was the truth of it. Love, real love, wasn't about perfect circumstances or matching tax brackets. It was about finding someone who saw you, really saw you, and chose you anyway. Someone who fought beside you when the world pushed back. Someone who believed in your dreams even when you'd forgotten them yourself. The cleaner and the CEO, the girl who'd lost everything and the boy who'd gained the world. Together they were writing a different story. One about resilience and hope and the courage to defy expectations. And as they walked through the city streets, their hands intertwined, their future spreading out before them like an unfinished canvas, they both knew this was only the beginning. If you enjoyed this story of love, resilience, and fighting against the odds, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. Hit that like button if Ethan and Amanda's journey moved you, and drop a comment below telling us what you thought. What would you do in Amanda's position? Could you handle the pressure of dating someone from a completely different world? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our next story. Thanks for watching, and remember, true love is worth fighting for.